It's hard to find companies from North America that will invest in a new pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast. And there's one simple reason for that. Under the Trudeau government, so many pipelines were canceled after companies had put $800 million, $1 billion, almost $2 billion into the prerequisite development and design of these pipelines, that they're now shy about getting involved in a new pipeline. So when Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, went to China in January and signed a memorandum of understanding with the Chinese government to permit more Chinese investment in Canadians' energy sector, the Alberta government thought that was a good thing. We're going to get some Chinese investment now, that Chinese will help us build pipelines. Well, I would strongly advise staying away from Chinese investment. Part of the memorandum of understanding that Carney signed with the Chinese government says that we will try and sell more oil, gas, and renewable resources, renewable energy to the Chinese. I have no trouble with that. And I don't think we need to have a special memorandum of understanding for that. The Chinese are so hungry for energy that they will buy from us whether there's a memorandum of understanding or not. And the memorandum of understanding that Carney signed is kind of weak anyway. It really only says we'll have ministerial dialogue, and sometime in the future that may come up to an agreement or some sort of trade pact. But it's basically a plan to have a plan. So I'm not that enthusiastic about it. But I'm really not enthusiastic about letting the Chinese into our energy sector or any other major Canadian sector, manufacturing, regardless of what it is, because they're not reliable partners. Now, the Americans have turned out to be unreliable partners under Trump. I get that. And I think it's wise of Carney and the Liberal government to seek as many new partners as possible. And so maybe we beggars can't be choosers, but the Chinese are a national security threat to Canada. They will take whatever information they get from investing in our companies and in our resources and use it against us. They will do perhaps what's called tying in our resources, which means we won't get to use them, even in a time of national crisis. But we will have to sell to them first because they are investors. They've been known, too, to write deals with Western companies. And then when the deal has given them enough information, when their agents and their computers have stolen enough trade secrets, they then cut off the Western company and go on their own, using all of the proprietary information that they stole while they were partnered with a North American company or a Western European company. And you can't underestimate the fact that the Chinese still use slave labor. They have an awful lot of ethnic minorities, particularly their Muslim minorities, that they force to make solar panels, for instance. Now, in the regular, ordinary oil and gas industry, there's probably not an awful lot of slave labor going on, but we have also agreed to help them get more green energy. And in the green energy side in China, there's a fair amount of slave labor going on. And unless we want to condone that, unless we're happy with being part of that, we should stay away from investing in the Chinese. So I know Premier Danielle Smith in Alberta, who's been having trouble finding North American companies to invest in a new pipeline. A new pipeline is going to cost $20 or $30 billion. She's been having trouble finding companies that will want to invest in that. She's happy now that maybe we could approach the Chinese about investing. I would say stay away. For Post Media, I'm Lorne Gunter.